Imagine waking up every morning to the sound of gunfire and explosions, never knowing if you or your loved ones will make it through the day. This is the harsh reality for children in Gaza, where the death toll has reached a staggering 19,400 since October 2023, with one child killed every 52 minutes. The Gaza Strip has become the most dangerous place to be a child, with over 30% of deaths being children, including 1,000 infants under the age of 1. But here's where it gets even more devastating. The Israeli military's actions have been described as genocide, and the international community is still grappling with how to respond. The numbers are staggering, with at least 42,011 people wounded in ongoing Israeli shelling, accounting for 26% of the total wounded population of 161,583. Women and the elderly make up 23% of the overall death toll, while men account for 46.7% of casualties. The United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, has spoken out about the crisis, with communications manager Tess Ingram stating that the suffering of children in the Gaza Strip is not accidental. Malnutrition and famine are weakening children's bodies as displacement strips them of shelter and care, and bombardments threaten their every move, Ingram said. But what's even more shocking is that the Israeli military has repeatedly targeted so-called humanitarian zones across the Gaza Strip, leaving civilians with nowhere to turn. And this is the part most people miss. The Israeli military's own data shows that over 83% of those killed are civilians. Ingram warned that the latest Israeli operation in Gaza City could bring further catastrophe for families residing in the area, adding that the north is fast becoming a place where childhood cannot survive. The crisis is deepening, with famine rapidly debilitating 1.97 million civilians across the blockaded strip. The health ministry's latest statistics show that more than 58% of the besieged enclave's population are under emergency levels of starvation and malnutrition. Children, especially those under the age of 5, have been significantly impacted by the humanitarian crisis and lack of basic necessities. From the lack of necessary vaccines to the increasing number of orphans, children in Gaza are facing increasing hardships. With more than 370 starvation deaths recorded, over 35% are children. The collapse of essential services is leading the youngest and most vulnerable fighting for survival. Without immediate and increased access to food and nutrition treatments, this recurring nightmare will deepen, and more children will starve, a fate that is entirely preventable. So we have to ask, what can be done to stop this senseless killing and suffering? Is the international community doing enough to hold Israel accountable for its actions? And what can we do as individuals to make a difference? The situation in Gaza is a complex and controversial issue with different perspectives and opinions. But one thing is certain: the children of Gaza deserve our attention, our compassion, and our action. We invite you to share your thoughts and opinions on this issue in the comments below. Do you think the Israeli military's actions constitute genocide? What do you think is the best way to address the humanitarian crisis in Gaza? Let's start a conversation and work together to find a solution to this devastating crisis.